former Jags player Austin Lane, and we welcome in Dave Holmes from Columbus and TV station up there, WBNS. He also is a host of Game Time with Ryan Day. So obviously everybody in Columbus covers the Ohio State Buckeyes very closely, Dave included. And first thoughts on the national championship game, but I want some other thoughts too, Dave, for on Ryan Day and even Urban Meyer. If you have a few minutes, thanks for joining us. Happy New Year. And do the Buckeyes have a chance to beat Bama tonight?
Yeah, I think they do. Appreciate it, by the way, guys. Glad to be here. Yeah, I think they do have a chance. We've seen one thing in Ohio State in the playoff. They seem to play better as an underdog. I mean, we look back at the run in 2014-15, and they were an underdog, strong underdog with a third-string quarterback against Alabama, and won that game, went on to beat Marcus Mariota and win a title against Oregon. So I think they can. I mean, they blew my mind with how well they played against Clemson. I thought that was going to be a close game. And if you told me one team is going to blow the other team out, I think we probably thought it would be Clemson doing the beating. So I was a little surprised by how well they played. So now that I've seen the ceiling, and we've seen the floor, the team is so talented they can't play that poorly, especially in the Big Ten. They're going to win every game. We've seen the floor all year. We saw the ceiling against Clemson. And if they bring the ceiling, then, yeah, they have 22 guys who are every bit as good as Alabama when they line across from them.
Dave, when we talk about the ceiling, it starts with Ryan Day. I think Ryan Day does a great job of setting his players up for success in big games. If you go back to that Clemson game, he did a fantastic job of using up-tempo a little more, what you're not really accustomed to seeing sometimes from Ohio State, using up-tempo, but also the run game. And being a former defensive lineman, there's nothing more sucky than playing an up-tempo style, offense when they can control the trenches as well. Do you see them going with that same kind of game plan Alabama, or do they flip the script and come up with something new?
I think they'll actually flip it a little bit. Now, I think this game is going to be played in the 30s and 40s because you just have two really, really good offenses and two defenses that are beatable at times. So I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. But I think if Ohio State could choose a style here, it's going to be Trey Sermon and ball control. I really do think you want to follow the same format you did against Alabama in that 2014 Sugar Bowl when they beat them with Zeke Elliott. And Trey Sermon has been, an epiphany here in Columbus because this was a guy who didn't even look like he should see the field early in the season. He was getting 6-7 touches. He looked uncomfortable after transferring from Oklahoma. And there are a lot of narratives about Ohio State, and I get it. Nationwide, some people think they don't belong. They didn't play enough games. And those are valid points. You're not going to get people in Columbus to agree with you on that, but I understand the case. I do think the Buckeyes needed more reps, and I think they were hurt by a lack of reps. But the one place where this is true is Trey Sermon is basically as fresh as he would be in mid-August. And I do think that is helping Ohio State because the run game and his legs look unbelievably fresh. So I think they want to lean on him tonight if they can.
Dave Holmes from WBNS in Columbus, Ohio, with us on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Ohio State plays tonight against Alabama in the national championship game. By the way, shout out to Gahanna, Ohio. That's where my wife is from, so shout out to everybody in Gahanna and a good part of this beautiful country there in Ohio. The Sean Wade has a big matchup tonight against Devontae Smith. He's a Jacksonville guy, Dave. His stock was through the roof going into this year. I feel like it slipped a little bit. He has a chance to really make a statement tonight against this passing attack of Alabama.
It's interesting because Sean Wade's play has not necessarily matched up with his reputation. You were right. They looked at him. The Buckeyes strongly believe they are DBU, with all due respect to LSU. They think they produce first-round talent's better than anyone. Denzel Ward, Marshawn Lattimore, Garyon Conley, Eli Apple. My goodness. I mean, how many first-round quarterbacks? And Sean Wade was the next guy on that list. It hasn't always been there this year. Now, there is a huge difference between playing slot corner, which he excelled at, and moving outside. And I think that adjustment's taken some time. The thing about Sean Wade, though, he has made plays when he needs to make one. And I think that's what this night will be. I don't think anyone's winning this thing 17-13. I think the key is who can get a fourth down stop, who can get a turnover on downs, or a turnover in general, because that's how this game's going to be won. I really don't think either defense is going to be able to hold them down. So Sean Wade, is he going to give up 100-plus yards to Devontae Smith? Yeah, there's a good chance that happens. But is he going to make a breakup on a 4th and 2? I think that's honestly how he'll be judged tonight.
I want to change gears a little bit here. Urban Meyer, obviously a guy who's been linked right now to the Jacksonville Jaguars. A lot of hype, kind of a lot of hearsay going on in the city right now. I'm just curious because when Urban Meyer left, University of Florida, I mean, you heard about it because everybody had an opinion about it, and especially being in Jacksonville, we're very close to that. What was the thoughts when Urban walked away in Ohio State? Like, what was that fan perception like?
Okay, so here's the thing, and let me say this. I realize this is going out to Florida. The health concerns with Urban Meyer are real. It's 100% valid. I'm not going to get into HIPAA things, but just I can swear to you it's real. And I know people in Florida might roll their eyes at that comment. That said, Urban Meyer did not want to stop coaching at Ohio State. I mean, everyone who knows him, and I hosted his show before Ryan Day's. He didn't want it to be done. Okay, he did not. The love did not go away. There was a serious health thing. He was also butting heads with university administration over the Zach Smith and that whole thing. Both those were legitimate reasons why I think Urban decided to step away. So the fan base was sad, but I do think they were quickly okay because of how good Ryan Day was. And I'll take the L on Ryan Day. I love the guy, but I thought they should have opened up the search just because the job was so prestigious. They didn't, and they made the right call. Ryan Day's fantastic. But the fan base was upset. Now, will the fan base accept Urban Meyer if he goes to the NFL? Yeah, I think they will for the most part. And I think that's why the NFL thing makes more sense than college. When the Texas job opened, and I said on social media, there's no way Urban Meyer goes to Texas. Longhorn Nation beat me over the head for about 72 hours, but it was never going to happen. Urban Meyer's legacy in Columbus is so important to him. It's more important than his legacy in Florida. He is an Ohio guy. He's from Ashtabula. This is where he's from. So he's very concerned about that, and I know that for a fact. That's not me guessing. He's concerned about his Ohio legacy. I think the NFL move is easier for fans to accept than if he went to someplace like Texas.
Dave Holmes, we got to wrap up from WBNS in Columbus, but what's your gut say? I mean, there's plenty of smoke here, man. I mean, they're interested. He's interested. I don't know if he's going to leave him at the altar and say, hey, I just don't want to get back in. What's your gut say? Is he going to go, and can he be a really good NFL coach?
Well, my gut has always said he's going to be a better college coach than NFL coach because I think he's better at motivating and recruiting than he is X's and O's. That said, Urban Meyer is not long for this world. He is a guy who burns fast and he burns bright. And if you're Urban and you have that cap space and a chance to draft Trevor Lawrence or whoever he wants on a 5-year rookie deal, I think Urban Meyer's a 5-year, 10-year kind of guy. So if he wants to try to do something, this is the right time to jump. I've always said in college it was going to be Notre Dame, USC, or nothing. I think this makes sense given his wife's love for Florida and his desire to coach again. I've heard that he's gone back and forth. I've heard it's been agonizing for him. So I think it's in play. We're going to find out in the near future if it's a real thing, though.
Hey, Dave, real quick. Are they going to throw a social distancing parade in Columbus for Jim Harbaugh since he re-signed at Michigan? Is that going down or not?
The reaction when he signed was like Apollo 13, the final scene when they land safely and everyone just explodes in cheers.
You better
Columbus
believe it.
should not be happy with Jim Harbaugh.
Parties all around.
Hey, Kuz wants us to get out of here, but hey, man, shout out to your Brownies. You guys are like, I mean, your Browns are winning. Ohio State's in a national title game. You must be on like cloud 9 today.
If the Buckeyes win tonight, this is the best 24 hours in football history.
Hey, Dave Holmes, great stuff, man. Let's do it again. We didn't even get into Justin Fields and Ryan Day maybe going to the NFL, whatever, down the road. Thanks for jumping in with us for a few minutes, man. Good luck tonight.
Have a good one, guys.